Hey folks, thought I'd do a video on adding in the front work light kit to the Bobcat CT4050 compact tractor. I bought this a couple of months ago. I really only got about 12 hours on it right now. But I wanted to get this ready for winter when I need to move hay around, so I wanted to add some more lights. So I bought the front work light kit and the rear work light kit. And I want to talk about in particular the front work light kit, because what the instructions tell you to do does not work. And we figured out what to do, so I want to maybe save some of you out there some of the hassle. So the first thing is, and I'll have my lovely wife zoom in on this. This is the instructions that come with it. It basically comes with 2 lights, a relay, and a switch, and some cable ties. It shows these 2 lights here that get mounted under one bolt of the handles on the side of the rear fenders. That part was actually per the plan here. They tell you to take the big tires off the back so you can get at it easier. But we did it without, because my wife's got slimmer arms than mine, and she managed to, I guess we kind of worked at it from both sides and got them in there. You have to cable tie it behind the tire. And when you do that, there's all of a sudden a connector there in the wire harness. I plugged them in on each side. That's perfect. The next part is where the trouble started. It kind of indicates what you need to do is take the front console off and screw a new relay down on the inside of that. And then you put the switch in on the right side of the console on the upper part. Said, okay, easy enough. When we went to locate where this relay went in, or where this relay down here goes in, there's nothing in behind that console to plug into. If you look at the John Deere wiring harness, or the Bobcat wiring harness diagram, it doesn't show anything special over on that side of the tractor. I talked to my dealer about it, and they said, well, when you bring it in for 50-hour service, we'll have a look at it. Well, that may not be for a while, and it's already getting dark here in mid-October, and I'll need to be using this at night. So last night, my wife and I, we took the whole front console off and looked around in there, and what we found out is that the switch does not go here, which is indicated on the diagram. It actually needs to go down here where there's an empty one. Now you'll see that I have a switch in there already, but it's moving around. And in the process of me putting it in the wrong slot up here, I ended up breaking the tab on the switch off. Coincidentally, when I put that switch in here and I turned it on, it actually turned on the cruise control activated light. So we know what that harness thing is for. And I think that's what the manual says. So then what we did is we took this apart and put the switch in a socket that was available in there, and said, well, what the heck, it's the only thing available, and lo and behold, did exactly what they want. Now the other part is with respect to the relay, which they talk about screwing down on the inside of this. If you take the cover of this fuse box off, and how the heck did that come off? Here, get that off of there. I think this was a squeeze one on the sides. And you look in here on the inside cover, there is a spot for the relay that says front working lamp option. And since the relay they gave me did not have a hanger to put it on the sidewall of the tractor there, I said, you know what, it fit right in there, I put it in. But we still didn't have a place for the switch. So after we did that investigation last night, we now know where the switch is. The wiring harness is correct, but the instructions that you will get with this kit potentially will be wrong. Now maybe they'll update them at some point, I don't know. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take this off and show you what you got to do to get in there. I'm not having problems with that cover, I'll get on later. It takes 4 Phillips head screws. We didn't have to take all this off, which we did, and the bottom part, and this piece in the middle here comes off separately. So what we're going to do is you need to just loosen this part right here so you can get under there. It's really pretty simple. So we'll do that, and then we'll get right back to you. Okay, we took the 4 Phillips head screws out that are on the top here, and then 2 on the bottom, and this whole front cover drops down. And when you do that, lo and behold, here is a harness thing, and it says working lamps, F for front, most likely. And so we knew we were right. So I had a switch in here, and unfortunately, when I was trying to take it out, these things lock in, are very difficult to get out. And I ended up breaking a tab. So it doesn't lock in there properly. I said this is a brand new tractor. I'm gonna have everything brand new. Note to self, don't break the switches. I ordered a new switch for it. This is the part from Bobcat yesterday afternoon, and it showed up on my door this afternoon from UPS. This replacement switch, like you see right here, is $65. So you don't want to be getting crazy with them. I may still try to see if I can repair that tab somehow, but in this case, we're going to go brand new switch. It does illuminate green up here when it's on. I didn't realize that. I thought that was kind of cool. All right, so then here, these connectors have room for like, looks like 8 or 10 tabs or terminals you can connect to. And it's a little bit different type of connector than I'm used to with like my John Deere equipment that uses Delphi connectors. I'm not sure whose these are. They may be a Delphi, different type. But so anyway, this just needs to go on like that. But I think what I'll do is I'll slide this in here. Let's get that seated in. Okay. And then we know it goes that direction. And we just got to get it to lock on the back of the switch. And it does kind of click a little bit when you get it on there. And we're done. So now what we'll do is just put it back together, and then we'll give it a test. Okay, so we put the 4 screws that hold this front lower console together on, got it all back together. Here's the new switch in place here, and we'll put it on accessory quick, and I'll show you it does exactly what it's supposed to do. So, you know, the headaches we went through trying to do with the instructions were kind of a pain. I mean, we had to take this whole console off. I mean, it's not a terrible job. I don't know, Jen, how many screws total, maybe like 10 screws, and we had most of it off. But it was for no purpose. We also purchased the rear work light kit, and let's go have a look at that. Small wires, actually, compared to what I've done quite a bit of work on my Gator and my other John Deere tractor, which I traded in for this one, by the way. And you know, it was a little easier to to modify, and the wiring is what you would typically see for stuff like this. I don't see this as a tractor electrically where you're gonna do a lot of modifications unless you take power all the way back to the battery or main power block over there and fuse it yourself. Don't mess with the harness. It all seems to be there. I did spend $174 for the technical service manual for this tractor because I wanted to really get detailed information. I bought one for my John Deere Gator, and it was, you know, several hundred pages, and it talked about everything, all the circuitry, all the wiring, what the theory is behind it. And I was really disappointed in the Bobcat manual. It gave you all the technical stuff if you want to like rebuild the engine or something. But on the electrical, it was very, very light on. The information, much of it that was in there, you could get right off the internet from their website. So, any rate, I have a working front light and rear work light kits now on my new Bobcat CT4050. I think Jen and I will do some more videos on this. I'll talk about it some more and describe it to anybody that's interested. There's some videos on the Bobcat stuff out there, but not as many as there could be. So I'm going to try to contribute to that. Overall, I think it's a pretty nice tractor. But we'll talk more about it. You guys have a good one. Thanks.